Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. In this video, well, it's a little bit different. I think because the timing calls for it. So what I want to do is I want to take you on a short journey spanning from 2013 to 2017 with even a little bit of relevance to just last month in April 2019. And what I want to illustrate is that the company Ripple has been careful, consistent, and transparent regarding the health of the XRP ecosystem in order to protect the value of XRP. Ripple has thoughtfully made decisions to build liquidity that will impact demand, adoption, and lead to an increase of price. Ripple has had the goal to become the backbone for global transfer value, expecting the demand for XRP to be considerable. And I'm going to start with this post from Joel Katz, who of course is the CTO of Ripple, and he is David Schwartz, but he used this very often for his online presence. And this is on the bitcointalk.org website, and he's talking about Ripple, why XRP is superior to Bitcoins. And he says that as a corporation, we are legally obligated to maximize shareholder value. And with our current business model, that means acting to increase the value and liquidity of XRP. We believe that this will happen if the Ripple network is widely adopted as a payment system. We are pursuing multiple avenues at once, and one would expect increased demand to increase price. So I'm to what is May 2014, and here we see the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine is actually a tool where you can search on websites that no longer exist. They have captured them through screenshots, and they are very handy when you're trying to do research. So here we see that the Ripple ecosystem was still needing at that time gateways, market makers, developers, and merchants to fulfill its potential. And at that same year, but in a different document, this is actually a deep dive finance document that was put together by the Ripple company. You can see here that the XRP function is to assist with liquidity, providing on the network. And over time, if the Ripple protocol becomes widely adopted, demand for XRP may increase, leading to an increase in price. And in that same document, but on a different page, we can see that the future demand potential is outlined as increased exposure and a more global network of Ripple gateways could result in increased speculative interest, which may have significant impacts on price. Speculative demand and bullish expectations for the future were enough to send XRP and BTC total market capitalization to over $6 billion to $23 billion in Q4 2013, respectively. Isn't that an amazing number? And just think, this is only 2014. Wow, it had a combined market cap of only 23 billion. So it goes on to say that if Ripple protocol becomes the backbone for global value transfer, Ripple Labs expects the demand for XRP to be considerable. And then I'm going to just touch briefly on what exactly is an XRP ledger. This is a developer site for Ripple, and the gateways are the businesses that link the XRP ledger to the rest of the world. An existing online financial institution can expand to act as a gateway in the XRP ledger. And this is very interesting. This is an old document that is the International Ripple Business Association, and it's their list of Ripple gateways back in 2014. Look at this. Well, some of these names you'll recognize, like Bitstamp, and some you may not recognize. But SnapSwap is one that I really want to look at closer. And we can even see that there was a gateway here in China, Europe, Singapore, etc. So you can go down the list. But what we find, this is when XRP was trading at only 0.01 cents. And there were 2,000 XRP given away in Europe, provided by Ripple Labs, formerly OpenCoin, and hosted by SnapSwap. So the verified SnapSwap account holders would receive 500 XRP for their first Ripple wallet deposit of at least 10 euro. For each subsequent wallet deposit, they'll receive 3 XRP for every 1 euro and up to 300 XRP per deposit and up to 2,000 XRP in total. Isn't this just amazing how everything has changed? And if we go now to an actual interview, boy, this is a blast from the past. This is February 2014. They even talk about the recent story of Charlie Shrem being arrested. This is 1 month after I bought my first Bitcoin. I want to take you to this part where they really address protecting the value of XRP. And just have a quick listen here.
They don't necessarily even have to know it. We call that hosted wallets. So again, all we're concerned about is trust, utility, and liquidity. Grow the network. That actually will be the best thing for the value of XRP.
So trust, utility, and liquidity. That is what they are concentrating on at that time, and that is still what they are concentrating on at this time, and that is to grow the network, and that is the best thing for the value of XRP. So we jump now to a more recent pick. Does this look familiar? This just occurred last month. You can see Chris Larsen here is actually pictured with the Minister of Finance in Luxembourg, and Mr. Pierre Gramenegna, he is also somebody who tweeted out in 2015, he was happy to have signed the first digital currencies operator license for SnapSwap, who will make Luxembourg their EU hub for the fintech. So this is a very interesting connection. SnapSwap was one of those on that official gateway list. So we go back also, Rock Trading was on that gateway list. Rock Trading is the oldest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. They have been providing Bitcoin trading since June 2011. And they say in a trustless world, trade on an exchange you can trust. So some of those gateways, though, don't exist anymore. Here is using the Wayback Machine again. I've got a screenshot of the Ripple CN, which is out of China. I don't think it's operational anymore because I can't find anything live. I can only find these screenshots. So we jump then a little bit further, and I'm a little large here, but I just have to deal with it. We talk now about getting those market makers in the middle of the gateways. So by routing the payments through market makers, Ripple users can pay each other in currencies that they do not hold. So it is in this example that you see here that the market maker allows a user with USD balances to send a payment in euro, and the market maker buys USD and then sells euro in order to make this happen. And you can see that with Ripple, no one is exposed to risk that they don't want. Market makers price, take the risk, counterparty risk, and bear the cost of rebalancing funds between gateways so that the users don't have to. You can see here is where the market maker sits in between those gateways. And remember also, there are some market risk to consider. So Ripple Labs has established legally binding agreements with insiders and owners of large amounts of XRP that protect against a large-scale sell-off of the asset. So Ripple Labs has a tracking tool that ensures that these participants abide by the agreements. This is something that was put together for the Conference of State bank of supervisors. And that's important because it was in 2017 that we learned that Ripple was going to place the 55 billion XRP into escrow to ensure certainty of total XRP supply. And this was really something that I think was very strategic and very well thought out, because it's done in 55 contracts. 1 billion of the XRP expires on the first day of every month, and it's used for incentives for the market makers who offer tighter spreads for payments and selling XRP to institutional investors. As well as, of course, we know that escrow is used for other parts of the growth and robust adoption of XRP and the ecosystem itself. So it's just really a way to manage and care for the health of the Ripple XRP ecosystem. The distribution curve on this XRP takes us out to about 2030. So I am then going to just take you to November 2017, when David actually addresses some of that pricing and questions on Twitter. And he says that the price of XRP just can't be dirt cheap. It just doesn't make any sense. And when he goes down, you can see that, except that higher prices make payments cheaper. So right now you can buy $1 million house with Bitcoins, but when Bitcoins were when a Bitcoin was $300, it would move the market too much and be too expensive to be practical. So higher prices make payments cheaper. And that is the story that I wanted to tell, because I think a lot of people are concerned that the company Ripple is not making the correct moves to keep the potential of that price increasing. And they are doing, I think, all the right things needed to make sure that it is balanced and that it slowly, organically grows. All right, everybody, we are jumping to the fluff. Yes, no, I have just one more document, and this takes us to March 2018. And this is David again, talking about anyone who gets XRP from Ripple, the company, from us, he says, as a part of some deal with a lockup, has the incentive aligned with ours. They want the long-term price of XRP to go up too. So there you have it. And I think it's important to really see that consistent message throughout the years. All right, now I really am jumping to the fluff. This is all about, wow, I'm not a whiskey drinker, but the whiskey here in Japan, Hibiki in particular, is one of the most popular and gold medal winning whiskeys in the world right now. And there is one thing that they do in the very high-end bars here, which is super special. So I wanted to do this for Chip. I was in his live stream tonight, and I really enjoyed the chit chat we had. It's very rare for me to be able to take a whole day and spend time popping around some of the live streams out there, but today was one of those special days. And anyway, I told Chip that I would do a special fluff for him because he's a whiskey drinker. And if he comes to Japan, he must go to one of these high-end bars because they do something that is quite special. And you might see something even like this, where the bartender, who is very professional, is actually fanning his ice cube. And why would he be doing that? Well, let me just show you what he's doing if we take a quick peek at this video. They start with a block of ice, and they use this 3-pronged ice pick. And within less than 3 minutes, they'll create the most beautiful round sphere, which is an ice cube, for your highball whiskey. And it's really a form of mastering the craft of being a bartender. This culture and society is really full of thriving craftspeople and artisans, and the attention to detail is, wow, it's sometimes obsessive. So if I bring you forward, you're going to get something that looks like this. Let's see if we can, there you go. So Chip, this is really something I want you to experience. And this is just another photograph of the Hibiki whiskey and that beautiful round ice cube. It doesn't matter if you're in a ramen shop or a high-end bar, these craftsmen are serious for their trade. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.